Hey guys, thanks for joining me today for a short little, about an hour long of flow into a yin class. Today we'll be focusing on the thoracic spine, which goes from basically the base of your neck to the middle of your back. And we'll get started in a hero's pose. You can just take a seat on your mat. You're gonna have your toes tucked under, heels up, and sit back on them. This is a hero's pose, but we're gonna do it with a toes pose variation. And once you join me here, you can just start to notice your breath, start to notice your space, slow down a little bit. Maybe let your eyes close or gently lower. Reminding yourself why you're here, taking time for yourself. Notice your inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, breath moves energy up. Exhale, breath moves energy down. Start to notice a flow of energy from the earth to the crown on your inhale, and from your crown to the earth on your exhale, starting to activate the energy of the spine. Today we'll move a little bit of energy there. I find that the thoracic spine, it's a tricky spot for me because from sitting all day in the car, at my desk, hunched over my phone, we kind of become wrapped up in life, and to me, this is the place that is impacted the most. So we'll try to find a little bit of mindfulness in the body today through practice. Releasing what we don't need, focusing on what we do. You can untuck your toes, leaning forward to release them down to the ground. Meeting me in a simple hero's pose now. And letting your eyes slowly bat open if they were closed. Take your right ear to your right shoulder, maybe shaking out the left a little. And rolling it down through center. Left ear, left shoulder. Take a beat here, releasing the right shoulder. And on an exhale, let your gaze fall down. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, down. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. And then let the head return to neutral. Inhale. And exhale. Let your right hand find the mat. Left arm stretching overhead. And exhale to let the left hip sink towards the ground. Stretching into the side body. As you inhale, feel the ribs stretch along the left side of the body. And exhale to let yourself go a little further. One more inhale. And exhale returns you to center. And inhale, neutral. And exhale, move over to the left side. This time inhaling hip all the way out the fingertips. Stretching into those ribs with each breath. And then an exhale returns us to center in neutral. In your own way, we'll find a tabletop position. And rather than moving right into a downward facing dog or into our cat-cow, we'll take a little bit of freestyle. finding what your body needs. Shifting back and forth, maybe taking a barrel roll. I'll give you 3 breaths on your own to figure out what your body needs here. Starting to tap in, tune in, hear what the body has to say rather than everything external. Let the motion come to stillness. And then thinking of that part of the spine up here, the thoracic spine, we're going to inhale to lift the right arm high, and then exhale to thread it under the left arm, letting the left elbow bend, letting the right ear find the mat, threading the needle. Hips stay neutral to the front of your mat here. Press the right back of the hand into your mat. Left arm's just there to help balance. And inhale to expand. And an exhale to twist into the spine, warming it up. One more inhale, expanding. Another exhale. And your next inhale brings you all the way back up. Exhaling, hand down, tabletop. And just 1 or 2 cat-cows here. Resetting the spine. Inhale, left hand to the sky. Exhale, threading under the right. And 3 breaths here. Exhale, push the hand into the mat. Hips neutral. Focusing on twisting from the spine, not from the hips. On your next inhale, left arm rises high to the sky and then returns back to the mat. A cat-cow or 2 here, or simply meet me in our first downward facing dog, pressing the knees up, hips back and neutral. Immediately bend into the knees to find the wrap of the shoulders up and back along the spine. As you straighten your legs and press your heels back, you should be able to feel the shoulders engaging, biceps rotating out, shoulders wrapping down and around, supporting the body, pedaling into the feet, warming up. And then take the feet wide to the mat. Right hand finds the center. And exhale your left hand to twist to meet the right calf or thigh in a downward dog twist. Make sure your hips are still neutral to the front of your mat. The twist is coming from the spine instead. As you inhale, feel the hips pulling back. And exhale to feel the shoulders supporting you. Inhale, feeling levity. And exhale, return the hands to neutral. Let the left hand now find the center of the mat. And exhale, right arm meets left calf or thigh. Finding your downward dog twist. When I exhale here, I like to actually think about rotating my shoulders around the spine. Gaze maybe working up towards the armpit of the left side body. And then exhale, returning to your neutral dog, feet together. And simply walk your feet up to meet the hands, front of the mat. Here, give yourself a generous bend of the knees, rocking back and forth. Palms can find elbows, or you can simply let them dangle. Taking a beat here, Feeling a little stretch in the back body. And then straightening the legs as much as you feel acceptable today to find your halfway lift. Hands can push into the calves, shins, or they can remain on the floor. You could even take your hands up onto 2 blocks in a halfway lift like this, if you find that most comfortable. Exhale down back to your forward fold, and then bending your knees, rise all the way up to a standing position. Hands finding heart center, and then by your sides in a mountain pose. We'll warm a little bit more up into the shoulders here with a little bit of breath work along with the arms. So on an inhale, we'll raise our arms high and exhale them through heart center. This time, open the arms to the right and exhale through center. Inhale left, exhale center. Keep this pattern going. Also, opening up that kind of wide breath of the shoulders. You can let the movement come to stillness at center. Taking 2 or 3 breaths to find stillness. Feeling how that movement impacted the body. And then finding that breath movement, feeling the inhale moving up. And the exhale moving down. Let's flow. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms meet the mat. Right foot steps back into a low lunge. Shift back and forth on those back toes. Stretching into the psoas, stretching into the back body. Hips stay neutral and even. Plant the right hand and inhale the left arm up. Low lunge twist. Inhale, reach the fingers high. Exhale, palm meets the mat. Step back, high plank. One inhale here. And exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, slide forward. Upward facing dog, toes tucked. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, foot lands between the hands. Low lunge once again. Shifting back and forth on those back toes. Planting the left hand, and on an inhale, right arm to the sky, low lunge twist. Pull the left hip forward, right hip back, and then exhale. Right hand meets the mat, step up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, hands through heart center, mountain pose. Inhale to the right, hands through heart center, exhale. Inhale to the left, and exhale. One inhale in mountain, one exhale in mountain. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to fold. Plant the hands, stepping the left foot back. Shift back and forth into the hips, into the legs. Plant the left hand, right arm high, low lunge twist. Feel a non-stop line of energy from the crown out through the heel. Exhale, hand down, step back, high plank. One inhale here, and exhale. exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left leg steps between the hands, right hand plants, and inhale the left arm up, little lunge twist. Inhale, and exhale, left hand plants, step it up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to fold. And then inhale all the way up. Hands are heart center, mountain pose. Taking a beat here, letting a fist meet at the lower back. Sliding shoulders down the back, keeping the tailbone moving towards the floor. Inhale into a back bend. Exhale to feel that fist moving downwards. Inhale, punching the spine through the chest. And then an exhale to release, back to mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, feet step back, high plank. Inhale to shift forward slightly, and exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Let your hands meet next to the sides of your chest. Feet together, pelvis presses into the mat. And on an inhale, let your shoulders roll down your back just like in that baby back bend. Lifting up, baby cobra. Pelvis presses into the mat. Exhale to release. 2 more of those. Inhale, rolling up. Baby cobra. Thighs and pelvis press. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Last time, rolling up through the thoracic spine, really feeling the shoulders pull back and down. And exhale, forehead to the mat. Pushing back, child's pose. An inhale here, healing the shoulders. And an exhale, healing them release. On your next inhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale to feel the hips pulling back. Exhale, heels to the floor. Inhale. And exhale, hands pressing. Inhale. And exhale, bending the knees, looking up between the hands, step, step, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, back to fold. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center, mountain. Inhale. And exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. Exhale, shift forward, lowering all the way. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, forehead to mat. Shift back through child's pose to find your downward facing dog. Immediately, let the right leg lift high, keeping the hips neutral, and exhale it through center, letting that right foot plant, lifting up high, high lunge. Here, take your hands to your hips, see that they're facing forward. Feel that same heavy tailbone as in the back bend, and bend your back knee as much as you need to feel stable and like there's not too much of a bend in the lower back. And then inhale, letting the arms rise. As you exhale, shift the weight forward, the hands back into a power lunge. Feeling a string of energy from the crown of the head out the back heel, keeping that tailbone neutral. One more breath in. And as you exhale, open up with those T arms to the right side of the room. And a high lunge T twist. Just one exhale here. And then return through a high lunge, pivoting that back heel down and opening up the hips to the left side of the room into a warrior two. And inhale here, feeling the hips really opening. And then an exhale to straighten the front leg, parallel the feet, and forward fold into a wide-legged fold. Let yourself find what you need here. I'll give you 3 breaths. On your next inhale, pivot both the feet forward, framing the right foot with the hands in a low lunge, and then stepping the back foot up to meet the right into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands are at center, and exhale all the way back to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to fold. Step the feet back, high plank. And lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, shoulders roll back, cobra. Exhale, forehead down, pushing back through child's pose. And finding your downward facing dog. Knees up, shoulders engaged, palms press. An inhale. And exhale. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale it through center, landing between the hands, pressing yourself up, high lunge. Check those hips again, squaring them to the front of the room. Find your high lunge, feeling those middle fingers lifting towards the sky, and then exhaling the arms back, torso forward, power lunge. Feeling how strong that front leg is, that glute. Whew, starting to shake a little for me. I don't know about you. And then on your next exhale, open up, T-twist, left side of the room. Feeling the spine twisting. And then exhale through center, opening up the hips to the right, warrior two. I love going from a squared hip to an opened hip. It feels so good. Straighten the left leg, parallel the feet, and exhale, finding what you need in your forward fold. 3 breaths here. Start to shift the feet towards the front of the mat. Hands frame the left foot, low lunge, and then simply step the right foot up to meet. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands over heart center. Take a beat, mountain pose. This next cycle, it'll be our last 3 flows, and then we'll start to move into a little bit of a slower practice. So let's do it. Inhale, arms up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, stepping back, high plank. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, back through child's. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale here. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, foot plants. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, power lunge. One inhale here. And an exhale to open you up. T-twist to the right side of the room. Settling here for 2 breaths. Inhale through center. And exhale, open up, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, feeling the hips lift. And then exhale, parallel the feet towards the front of the mat. And find your blocks. I like to place them on either side of my foot here. Step that back foot up, about 6 inches to a foot. Hips to the front of the mat. And we're finding a pyramid pose here. You're looking for a nice stretch up the back of the hamstring. Moving the right hip back to meet the left. Left hip up to meet the right. Keeping the back straight for a moment, parallel to the mat, and then exhaling it to let the nose move towards the knee if that's comfortable for you. Starting to sink into the pose a tiny bit. On your next exhale, lift your spine up to straight again. Plant the left hand into that block, keeping the feet just where they are. And exhale to lift the right arm up as if you were pulling a bow. And then straighten the right fingertips towards the sky into a twisted triangle pose. Hips should be square to the front of the mat. Right hip pulling back. Spine should be open and twisting, using the bottom hand as leverage, and the gaze can be high to the sky if that feels good on the neck. One more breath in, and exhale to let the hand find your other block, and then simply step the left foot forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale back to fold. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale to meet me in mountain pose. One inhale. And one exhale to feel yourself settling. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands are at center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, step back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, all the way down to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, forehead down. Inhale, back through child's pose. And exhale, meet me in your downward facing dog. This is our last side here. Let's give it all we got. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, knee to nose, and then footsteps between the hands. Rising high, high lunge. exhale, power lunge. 1, inhale, and exhale, open up, T-twist to the left, finding yourself sinking in here, hips even. Inhale through center, exhale, warrior 2. 1, inhale, exhale, arms up, legs straighten, feet parallel. Exhale, forward fold. Couple of breaths here. And then we'll move towards that triangle and twist triangle. Last exhale. Parallel the feet towards the front of the mat. Stepping the back foot up to a 45-degree angle. Hands find blocks, books, whatever you got. Hips straighten towards the front of the room. And exhale to fold into your pyramid pose. Releasing the head, releasing the neck. Just for a moment here. Pressing the right hand into its block, ensuring the hips are still fully forward. Pull the left arm like a bow, opening up into your twisted triangle. Making sure you're breathing here. Feeling a clear flow of energy from fingertip to fingertip. From the crown to the tail. Staying strong here for our last breath. And exhale that hand down. Hands straighten that front foot as you bend into the left knee. Simply step the right foot up to meet. Forward fold. Instead of going up, we'll sit back here. Finding a seat for a moment. And then we will find our backs to start into our yin practice. You can just let yourself find your back, knees towards the sky, letting them fall in towards one another. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Finding your breath again, just like we did in the beginning of class. Seeing if you can't even out the inhales and the exhales to an even count. And then let the feet come to neutral. And we'll do our first pose, which is lovely. It's just like a little hug, working into the rotator cuffs of the shoulders. So what you'll do is raise your arms up and then let the right arm cross under the left, giving yourself a little hug. You should be able to feel the shoulders opening up around the body. Here we're looking not for our ultimate edge, so if you find you can't breathe here, you can't relax here, you've gone too far. Maybe do a little bit less. If this variation doesn't feel like it's doing anything for you today, join me in a slightly different variation on our bellies. If you'd like to try the harder variation, not harder, different variation, join me on your belly and cross the right elbow over the left elbow, finding eagle arm on your belly, sliding the elbows out, and then letting the forehead meet your arms. stretching forward. This variation is called iron cross, and it'll be what I'm taking today. I keep my feet wide to help neutralize my lower back here. We'll stay here for about 10 breaths. On each exhale, see if you can't let something go. Maybe it's a piece of tension in the body. Maybe it's a worry about a to-do list item. If it's important, it'll be there when we're finished with class today, and you can return to it then. Last couple of breaths here. Slowly release whatever pose you have. If you're on your back, just release the arms, letting the knees fall in. If you're on your belly, you can let the forehead meet the hands on your mat. We'll take about a minute to rest. This is really important in between yin poses. When we hold a pose, what we're doing is really compressing or opening areas of the body. And so when we finish the pose, it's critical to let energy return to those compressed areas and be able to move more freely throughout the body. So just take this moment to notice how the body has changed after the pose, and then we'll venture to the other side. If you feel ready to move and you're on your back, simply take the opposite hug as last time. Left arm on top of right. If you're on your belly, you can push your elbows up and underneath you to move the left elbow on top of the right this time. Finding your eagle arms here, either pressing the back of the back of the hands together, or finding the palms together, moving the elbows out, and then letting the chin or the forehead meet the arms in our iron cross, sinking in for about 10 breaths with me here. And again, as you move through this pose, rather than focusing perhaps on if it's difficult or if it hurts, which it shouldn't, maybe a little discomfort, but see what the body needs, how the body feels. Perhaps just listen to it here. Honor it. Just a couple more breaths here. If you feel done, you can move to that neutral resting position. Otherwise, take your last few breaths, taking what you need from this pose. On your next exhale, gently release the hands or the arms, and either let the knees knock in towards one another, or let the forehead find the hands on your mat. Taking a minute of rest here, noting how the body feels different. Listening to the breath. And letting your thoughts pass, just like a cloud in the sky. As you feel ready, if you're on your belly, press yourself up and back through a child's pose to meet your other classmates on your back. Taking a block or your props with you as we move towards a supported fish pose. If you have a block today, take it on the lowest or second lowest setting and set it up so it'll land on that thoracic spine. So you want the block or your prop to land approximately here, although you can use a long prop that meets your lower spine as well if that's more comfortable. I'm going to take mine on the lowest setting today and lower myself back and down on top of it, letting it land squarely between my shoulders and draping my abdomen over it, opening up the arms wide into a supported back bend. I like to have my head on the floor here, but you can put a block under your head if it feels bad on the neck. Again, the goal here, find your 60 or 70% edge, and then release into the pose. We'll hold this a bit longer, and I'll let you kind of guide yourself through it, not giving as much cueing as the rest of class, with the hope that perhaps you can use this time to further settle the mind into the body, into your mindfulness, into the present, as class slows down today. If you find yourself still getting caught up with thoughts, focus on smoothing the breath, noticing the moment that the inhale becomes exhale, or that the exhale becomes inhale. You could even say, I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Surrendering into the pose. About 10 more breaths here. Whenever you feel ready, simply roll the body off of the block, moving it out from underneath you, and find your Savasana for today. Feet wide, hands wide and open to the sky, inviting the knowledge, the energy of the universe in as you just let yourself be here. Space between the eyes sinks back into the skull. The ears melt back. The jaw, the tongue in the mouth. Any tension releases. Shoulders heavy to the mat. Belly soft. Easily moving breath. And the legs and the arms are simply weights, allowing your body to settle fully into your resting pose here. I'll be back to get you once we're done. before letting the mind return to the room. Let the body return, moving the smallest parts of yourself, the fingertips, the toes, the ankles, the neck, letting movement in organically, starting with small movements, and then graduating to larger ones until you can roll yourself over to one side, finding a fetal position, taking a full breath in, releasing a full breath out, and pushing yourself up to meet me in a comfortable seated position on your mat. Let your hands come to your knees, inhaling to shrug the shoulders up, and exhaling to release them down the back. And inhale up, and this time let the exhale out the mouth. One more inhale in, and let everything else go. Let the hands meet at heart center. Eyes still, maybe gently closed. I thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me today for yourself. I hope that you find a way to take part of this practice off of your mat.